This is my tutorial for making bike graphics for Bike Life Miami 2 or the bikes that I've made that you bought from me in my Discord server, which will be linked in the description, as well as the Bike Life Discord server for more bike graphics that you can get from there and info on the game if you really want that. I'm going to leave this part in, which most of y'all will never need to watch because I don't think anybody's going to do the graphics like this, but I have pre-made graphics from when I originally modeled this bike about a year ago, and I want to put them onto the new model that I did a few months ago that is now in Bike Life Miami 2. So I'm going to hide this shroud, which is the part that I'm going to be putting on there, and erase this in the bottom because that's probably going to screw it up if I have it there. The rest of it, bottom, it's probably going to ask you to radarize the image, so go ahead and do that. And I'm going to use the paint bucket tool to fill the entire shrouds piece, since I need to have it overlay onto the graphics so it doesn't get all screwed up. So I'm just gonna fill this paint bucket and put this over it, and then I'm gonna do a clipping mask so it goes onto there. Select both of them, then convert to smart object, then radarize, since that's kind of important to do. So once you do have your graphics that you're going to put on loaded in, and the template for it on there, drag the template all the way to the bottom and then lock it, or towards the top if you're going to try to line it up like I'm doing here. Either way, top or bottom, you either want it to be the very most top or the very most bottom part, depending on what you're doing or your preferences with trying to use this software. But I'm going to have it overlaid onto the top, and for this, I'm gonna go ahead and use this lasso tool so I can select all this. I'm gonna hide this so I can see it better, and I'm just gonna select all the graphics that I want to use here. Right click and then layer via copy, and then go ahead and I can just do the same thing again for this and then delete it from that top one so I have both pieces separate. So select this, select the bottom piece that still has both of them, press V so you can go into select mode, or hit it here, and delete after you radarize the image. So now you have both of them here, separate files. So now you can start trying to line them up. So I'm going to start with this one, which is going to be on the bottom, which already it's going to line up almost perfectly because I made this and I have it set up still, kind of. And with this, I'm probably going to have to use the warp tool a little bit so I can get it to fit, which is a very important tool which Photopea offers. So you go into here, you can select warp, and then you can start to morph it around so you can really get the exact shape you need. There's some parts that really need to fill an area, and this is exactly what you want to use for that. Very useful for making graphics that don't exactly line up with the template, since nothing is ever perfect. So you can get this to be lined up pretty well with this, which very, very helpful tool, which Pixlr does not offer, which most people do use Pixlr for this stuff, but yeah, it doesn't have this, so definitely the most important part. I'm going to leave this open on the bottom here since the entire background is going to be black. Paint bucket tool, so I'll go ahead, confirm that this piece is done. Pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this top layer here. I'm going to drag this up, move it to the spot where it would fit best, and then do the same thing again. Just keep morphing it and moving it so it fits well. Start dragging it around and figuring out exactly how it needs to fit. This, and it's probably about good. I'll bring this up a little bit, or that, and it's pretty good. Now we have both layers here, and you're going to want to make a new layer, drag it all the way to the bottom, and then hide the template, and then select one of the colors, and then whatever color you want the plastic to be, the main color of it to be, if there was no graphics on there, go ahead and select that color with the color selector when you open this. And then with that new layer, you can right click gradient tool and then go to paint bucket and then fill the entire background. Now you've got it completely lined up. It's as it should be. I might move these FMF logos a little bit higher because that's where the holes are in the plastics. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back to you once it's in Bike Life Miami 2. One last thing I did forget to mention is that when you do export it and you have it completely ready, oh, missed one spot here. When you have this thing completely ready to be exported, you want it to be in Bike Life Miami 2 or on the bike that I made, make sure to hide the background before you export it. So you want to go to File, Export As, and then JPG file or whatever file type you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Name it 2023 Factory, since this is a replica of the Supercross bike of last year for the 450, and go ahead and save it. So now you can go ahead and upload it to Roblox, and I'll show you how to put it into Bike Life. Okay, so assuming that you already have my bike in the studio, this is another way that you can get the code to put into Bike Life Miami. You want to go ahead and select the piece that you've done, texture ID, add image, and select the one that you did, create it, and then it'll be there. Blue isn't exact to what this one is. Some of the colors are a little bit off since I made this such a long time ago, but it still looks pretty decent on here, and it matches this look pretty good for this bike that I have. So yeah, assuming that you already have the bike and you have this imported into Roblox, you can go ahead and select this texture ID at the end and head into Bike Life Miami. But if you don't, you want to go to the I forget whether or not it's the texture or I forget whether or not it's the image or the decal ID. I'll have it on screen which one it is. Yeah, one of those IDs, it'll work because it'll upload it to there. Then you want to grab the ID from there and put that into Bike Life, which I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so once you're in Bike Life Miami 2, you want to spawn in the bike that you want to put the graphics on that you made him for. So I'm going to be using this one. I know that the kit is already fully on it. I'm just going to show you how to put it on exactly. Just got this kit done a few hours ago as of recording this video. So what you want to do is you want to spawn the bike, go into the workshop, go over to texture, and then we did the front side panel, so you're going to go here, paste the texture ID, which I already have mine here. I'm not going to waste another $500 on this game, so it will load in there. You can see that I can put in any of these other textures that I have saved, paste this one, and it's there. So yeah, once you do that, purchase it, finish us some more bike textures, then enjoy.